We are back, live from Greta Bar-Yag for Game 2 of the first-round series between the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. Nobody told the Oilers they were playing for the first 40 minutes of Game 1, but they sure woke up in the third period. They hopefully found an answer because the dream of stealing home ice is still alive. The job still can be done. Boys looking to grab a win. Oilers, Kings, Kings, Oilers, Part 2. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pre-Gaming with Bordzy, which is brought to you by Pepsi today. Shout out to Pepsi as the puck drops for playoffs. Pepsi is making a bold statement, changing its iconic color to orange. Pepsi is igniting hockey spirit among Edmonton fans as the city turns orange with this exclusive limited edition cola. 2025 bottles will be given out to fans throughout Edmonton. 2,025 bottles for the 2025 NHL playoffs. Pepsi's teaming up with the NHL and legendary former Oilers goaltender and guest of Oilers Nation Everyday, Grant Fuhr. It looks beautiful. I know it tastes beautiful. Also, shout out Pepsi. I've been on such a kick lately for cherry Pepsi. I keep buying 12 packs every time we go grocery shopping. Brett knows as well. I'm like partially addicted, which I also realized might be Dr. Pepper, but it's not. It's way better than Dr. Pepper. Shout out Pepsi. Pre-gaming, also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Also, shout out Sherwood for the Giant Bang. Bills are paid that quickly. Joined this evening by Zach Laing. Zach, I hate to bring it up, but I'm going to say it. We mentioned it when we first sat down here. You and I have not been in these seats together since Oilersnation After Dark for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Don't really want to get into that at all, but it's very nice to have you back in person down here at the bar for what will be a great evening. Zach, you had a tweet today that I'm quoting directly. Said, "Let's get after it." Well, twist my rubber arm, if you will, Zachary. How you doing?
Doing great, buddy. I'm fired up. I'm excited. Playoff fever's here. Playoff fever has arrived in Edmonton. Game 1, obviously not the way anybody wanted it to go, but I think it was a game where you could pull in a lot of positives. And it's a weird thing to think about when you talk about a loss because, you lost the game, right? And in the playoffs, it's do or die. There's no loser points. There's nothing to
no moral victories.
Yeah, there's no more. Thank you. That's where I was looking for. No moral victories. But it felt like there were some good things the Oilers could pull from it. Namely, in my opinion, the fact that they got to Darcy Kemper. I mean, for me, Bordzy, that was my biggest concern coming into this series. He's been so good this season, especially on home ice. And he's kind of been an Oilers killer in the regular season throughout his career. So the fact that the Oilers were able to get on him, get 5 past him in like a period plus a couple of minutes, that was a really promising sign. So going to be a critical game here tonight. Got to find a way to split this series and come home with one in their back pocket.
They woke up something from the Edmonton Oilers in the third period. It was Stuart Skinner down first 2 periods, you could say, totally up in the third. Darcy Kemper, the absolute reverse of that as well. Let's get caught up in the chat because I love you. I missed you all. Throw down your courtesy likes. Also, drink some Pepsi while you're at it. Connor Brown's in. Says justice for Skinner. Worst healthy scratch decision in history. We'll get into that a little bit in our opening. Lance Kane said, Ask Doobie was very insightful. I will be asking him a ton of questions going forward. Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Brett's also here. Shout out Patrick Puff is behind the scenes. Also, shout out Patrick Puff. Did Daily Face-Off Live today. Did Oilers Nation every day for me. Then he's doing pre-game and he's doing post-game. And clap it up for Pat.
Legend. Absolute legend.
That's
Thank
what you
you.
need
Thank
here.
you.
No one ever said it'd be easy. And once again, I think he's even staying fully sober tonight. Drove here.
Whoa.
Picked up
Yeah.
the gear beforehand. Pat starting out as the real MVP. Loyal to the Oils says, let's go, guys and gals. Game 2. Let's go, Oilers. Big Stu dub incoming. Austin says, excuse me, as I crack my first beer in 10 minutes. He also said, start a poll for the chat. Shotgun after we win or no. Brad, get on it. I don't think they'll give us cans inside the bar, but Austin, you can take it to the bank with you that there will be beverages had this evening.
Cool.
Zach and I did a Jager bomb before the show even started. Dylan's in says, let's go, Oilers. Cup, yeah.
Cup,
yeah.
Need a win here. Sadistic Angel, happy game day. Let's go, Oilers. McDiesel, buckle her up, boys. I got a 7-game series locked in. Sasky Girl Oil fan, fire me up. And then Bob Stoffer says, Kane are healthy, mad and hungry. wow, could be in for something special. I don't care if he hasn't played. Speaking of something special, there's a lot of storylines heading into this hockey game tonight. We're going Supernova. Skinner gets the start. Return of Kane. John Klingberg in the lineup. But Zachary, the biggest one of them all, we are on harmonica watch, people, because that's right. Rumor has it, lady who played the harmonica for game 1 in Los Angeles doing the anthem, DJ Bean here, says we can't confirm. I have some tweets in here from Paul Bissonnette. He had one earlier in the morning today that said, this is the key information you get on pregaming. He said, I'm hearing the Korean woman who blew the roof off Crypto.com in game 1 with their harmonica rendition of the Star Spangled Banner was asked back. They declined due to rest, but he said, I'm not fucking around. That's actually what I'm hearing. I'm really hoping I'm wrong and we get that action again. Then there was a development later with another tweet. It says the notorious harmonica anthem is very much in play tonight in LA after the gap in negotiations between the Kings and Korean woman have tightened. I'm hearing it's 99% happening. Horrendous news for the Oilers, assuming that's why Kane draws in. Potential chaos down at Crypto.com Arena. Zach, you said you actually missed the anthem for game 1 of this, and then I made you rewatch it right here. Sorry for that. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny. Noted anthem muter here. Not a big anthem guy. Keep him muted and then get to the broadcast afterwards. So I didn't hear it. I avoided it like the plague on Twitter. And then you subjected me to it.
I did.
It was objectively hilarious. I'll give it that much. No better way to fire up a crowd in Los Angeles, like getting a bunch of old ladies playing harmonicas. There's so many stars in LA. Like, what are we doing here?
Entertainment capital of the world. They picked the harmonica lady.
Like, get somebody who's a Kings fan to come down. Like a Kings fan who's a star. Like, get Snoop Dogg down there singing the anthem or some shit. You know what I mean?
He's a Kings fan. He was on chill. He called the game in chill.
He did. And he was in the broadcast booth during the game, too, for a little bit. I don't know.
So, well, that's all that we're locked in on this one is Harmonica Watch. Just kidding. There's a lot of storylines. I do want to give some love to Odd Company. First, before anything, Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every single day of the week. You can pick them up 2 Edmonton locations, either downtown or Ritchie, or simply check liquorconnect.com. Story number 1, Harmonica Watch. Story number 2 for me, the Edmonton Oilers Supernova. So Connor and Leon, they were on another level in game 1. I honestly feel bad, hand up. Post-game show, me and Doobie didn't talk enough about how goddamn electric Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl were in that hockey game. We're spoiled. We take it for granted. I apologize for it. 6 points between the two of them. Each of them had a goal. McDavid looked just a step ahead of absolutely everybody. Looked primed to go scorched earth on the LA Kings. Meanwhile, Leon Draisaitl looked like the guy that he was literally all season long. Absolutely elite, scoring from his office, finding a way. They kind of single-handedly looked like they could keep this series close or win it, which would be nothing new for this team. But we saw it. Everything changed momentum in that third period. I think Chris Knoblauch saw that as well because, according to him, we are going nuclear this evening. Leon Draisaitl on the top line with Connor McDavid and Corey Perry on the wing. Plus 155 on Bet365 for an anytime point. Run, don't walk to go smash that one. But my question to you, Zach, it's game 2. Is this a sustainable way for the Edmonton Oilers to win? In my humble opinion, I do think so. I think in the NHL playoffs, again, in theory, and especially, again, theory, yes, you want them spread out. Regular season, you want them spread out as well. The Oilers didn't do dick for 2 periods, 40 minutes in that hockey game until they threw them together. And I'm sorry, it's a race to 4 wins. You have to put your best foot forward, and the Oilers' 2 best feet are clearly 97 and 29. I think it's their best chance to win. You can obviously go back and forth. Depth charts, as I always say, are just a recommendation when it comes to Chris Knoblauch with Corey Perry on the line. That's unreal. I love that trio. I could see it was talked on ONE today. Corey Perry in for the O-zone draws. Maybe Connor Brown or Victor Arvidsson in for the D-zone draws and kind of working from there, see what happens. Either way, we're going Supernova. My question to you, are we going nuclear too early?
Well, I mean, listen, when you're down 1-0 in a series on the road, the way that the Edmonton Oilers are here right now, it almost kind of becomes a must-win game in game 2. Like, you go back home with down 2-0, and you are in a very, very bad place. I don't think there's any other way to put it. So I can absolutely understand the fact that Knoblauch wants to do this right off the bat tonight. I don't hate the idea either. These guys play so much already together out there at 5-on-5, right? Like over the last number of years, basically every game they played about 30% of their ice time together at 5-on-5. They come out after after a penalty kill, they get some momentum.
Icing.
When the Oilers are, late in the period, they get a couple minutes together, try and get one before it ends. When the Oilers are down, obviously they're stacking up the top line, right? What I like about this, though, I think even more so than in the past, is that it's Corey Perry, right? I really like that, right? And don't get me wrong, love me some Zach Hyman. Big Zach Hyman fan over here. But I think
that makes the second line look way better if Zach Hyman's there.
It does, and they play a similar game. Like, they could both be the F1s, getting in on the forecheck, getting in the face of the defenders and stuff like that. Yeah, and they both open up space, right? So I like it. It helps insulate Kane a little bit on that second line too, I think. I think Kane's going to be a presence out there. He's done that a lot in the past. He's going to be feeling fresh. Let's hope it's not too rusty. I think that's my biggest concern when it comes to Kaner. But back to the Supernova line. Over the last, this is now 4 years we played the Kings in the first round. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl have played about 100 minutes together at 5-on-5. They've outscored the LA Kings 12-4 in those minutes. Okay, going up against Anze Kopitar, about 51 minutes. They've outscored Kopitar 7-1. When they're out against Quinton Byfield, they've outscored Byfield's line 4-1. Against Philip Deneau's line, they've outscored them 3-1. These guys are quite literally just unstoppable.
They're matchup proof.
They're matchup proof. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm fine with it. You're going to get some offense from the big guns. I kind of like the move today.
I really like it. Once again, you start with your best foot forward. I also like the Oilers to win the first period. It's plus 110 on Bet365. I can see some motivation out there because I can see one motivated forward back in. You just mentioned it. I also see Lance Kane says, where was it? Canes always show up when you need them.
That's right.
You're goddamn right. Lance Kane does it all the time for me. We got the news today. Confirmed Evander Kane will make his debut for the Edmonton Oilers this season. Once again, been out all year, LTIR, and he's going to make his debut. There was some weird hubbub, I will say, from the NHL about Kaner LTIR maybe not playing in game one, which I don't know. I'm not around circles enough. It seemed a little ridiculous to me. Either way, point being, he is in the lineup tonight. The Kane train is on the tracks. Pat, do we also have the photo of the Kane train on the tracks? Because when he's on the tracks, you best keep your head up. He's had so many beautiful moments against the LA Kings. Motherfuckers, stay off those tracks. Because we just said he's going to be so jacked up to play in this game. I think the adrenaline alone will carry him in that first period. I know us in the bar, the first time he dumps a puck in for a dump and chase, he's lining up number 8 against his own boards, and he goes to just lay the body on the forecheck. This place is about to go nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I am dreaming of that moment. Very excited for him. Hasn't played, obviously, since last year's NHL playoffs. And tonight, he's going to play on the second line with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zachary Martin Hyman, which is quite the spot to be put in for your first game back. You just mentioned the worry about rust. All I can say is Kane is obviously a huge addition. He is the definition of a playoff player when it comes to it. He muck and grinds. He'll get in the scrums, lay the big body, do whatever you need. But he has the offensive touch. He has the hands. He has the goal-scoring ability. In 18 career playoff games against the Kings, Evander Kane has 12 goals, second only to one Leon Draisaitl, who now has 18 goals in 19 games. That is absurd. That's just insane numbers. But I'm excited to see what we get from Kaner, but you just mentioned it. There's rust. It could be a factor. I'm curious what his legs will be like, his stamina. He's slated to play in the top 6 with what would be assumed a heavy workload. What are your realistic expectations for Evander Kane?
Lay a couple of hits.
Bang!
Bring a presence.
Boom!
Bring the boom. The Oilers, I mean, in an ideal world, you'd love to see him go out and do what Matt Tkachuk did last night. Score a couple of goals, get an assist, be a big part of a big win. But, for me, I'm keeping my expectations pretty low here for Evander Kane. Again, what I am expecting, hard on the forecheck, lays 3, 4, 5 hits tonight, and becomes a little bit of an asshole, right? Be a little bit of an asshole out there. That's what Evander Kane does best. He's done it so many times against the LA Kings in the past, right? It's something that he's so good at doing. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for from him tonight. Create some space out there, get physical, get in their face a little bit, knock them off their game. I mean, we saw it in game 1, Bordzy. They got rattled. The Kings got rattled, right? And, that way the Oilers were able to do it by scoring some goals. But this isn't like it's a big defensive group or anything like that, right? I think it's going to be really important for these Oilers forwards here tonight, these first men in on the forecheck. your Corey Perry, your Evander Kane, your Trent Frederick to lay the body on the defenseman. It wasn't a very physical game one. It didn't feel very physical to me. I think that ramps up a level.
I think the emotion always picks up, and usually it's its peak around like game 3 or 4, and then 5, 6, 7, you really can't afford to fuck around, calms down a little bit. I think we're about to see some things ramp up. The other news, John Klingberg is going to be back in the lineup in this game tonight. He comes in replace of Josh Brown, who played a whopping 4 minutes and 54 seconds in game 1. Klinger, now he's slotted, I believe, to play on the second pairing with Jake Wallman. Depth chart recommendation when it comes to Chris Knobloch. I could see the big four playing a heavy workload of minutes. All I know, Josh Brown, he's Josh Brown. He was everything I thought he would be. He was brutal on that first Kuzmenko power play goal. But on the 5-on-3, was eating pucks left, right, and center. He played less than 5 minutes. How much of a factor can he be? I would expect Lindbergh to get a couple more minutes. I would still think 7-9 minute range, somewhere in there. It's a little bit of a weird decision because he doesn't play PK like Brownie. He's not needed on the power play. But the one thing John Klingberg does bring is playoff experience. He has 63 career playoff games, 39 points in those 63 games. Now, he is not that player anymore. The boots do not move like that, but there is a realm of playoff experience. You need a win on the road. That's a guy you can definitely trust more with the puck than Josh Brown. I forget, did Bruce Kurlock today refer to it as Josh Brown handles the puck like a grenade or something like that? Because that's a pretty accurate rendition. The Oilers, I think the other thing with Klingberg, they were basically playing 5 defensemen in game 1. I think Nabi said, "Kate, that's not a sustainable thing to do here. Let's get Klingberg in at least 7 and 9, maybe double-digit minutes. Who knows? All I know, it's not a huge upgrade over Josh Brown. I don't even know if it is an upgrade. All I can say, Troy Stetcher, please come back."
Yeah, I guess we'll see what we get here tonight from John Klingberg. Again, not really expecting a whole lot. He struggled this year. Let's just be frank, right?
I've been repping him all year.
It was tough. I think he had a couple of good moments. There was a couple moments where you saw a little sign of life from him. But, again, he's a guy who's been hurt for a while. Like, he had blocked a shot, did something to his foot from that. Then he got an infection. He missed 4 games. So, I think he's going to play more than Josh Brown did. I think he's going to be a little bit more effective, especially in the sense of, moving the puck, right? Because, the feet may have failed him, but he can still wire a puck up the ice. And if he can get out there and do that, I think that's what the Oilers are going to kind of need from him out there tonight. I'll be curious to see what the pairings look like as this game kind of progresses. Yeah. It feels like I really...
It's Wallman Kulak. We know Kulak's going to come up. He's going to be...
Kulak's going to play a bunch of minutes tonight. He's going to play 23, 24 minutes. Bouchard, Nurse, they're going to play 25, 26. I'm fully expecting that. If Klingberg doubles up Josh Brown's minutes from game 1, I think that's...
Yeah, I think you spread the wealth a little bit. Just looking here in the last game, yeah. Bouchard, 28 minutes. Nurse, 25. Kulak, 24, 58. They were all above 20. Everybody else was below. Josh Brown, 4:54.
And one other thing worth mentioning too in game 1, if you look at the Kings' time on ice, Jordan Spence only played 6 minutes in game 1, right? Yep. So I think the Oilers maybe looked at what Jim Hiller and
Spence played 6:40. Brant Clark 11:29.
There you go. So they were really playing only 4 defensemen out there, right? So I think that's probably going to play to the Oilers' benefit a little bit too. It is game 1. It's or game 2 now, right? And these guys are all still going to be, quote unquote fresh. But, for 4 defensemen to log those kind of minutes in game 1, that's pretty significant. So I think, again, going back to what I was talking about a little bit earlier, with the Kane trade and the hard forecheck for these F1s, I think getting in on these defensemen, the Dowdies, the Mikey Andersons. What kind of a name is Mikey?
Mikey.
Mikey.
Thank you, Brett Holden is also here behind the scenes as well. Just hanging out. Pat's producing. The sun's shining. Air hockey's going back there.
I can
the
hear
vibes are good. Every time we do a show here, it's just the faint sounds of air hockey in the background. There's some people in the chat. Where did I see here? It was Bob Stoffer said Boosh played 28 minutes. Holy shit. Some other guy said Kane will be rust on 34-year-old Rust with attitude. You're damn right. I can see that. Doug Waite, I think it'll take him a few shifts to get up to speed. And then Jeff Skinner, people were talking about the jeans. Jeff Skinner says, I'll wear the jeans in the press box because, Zach, if Evander Kane comes into the lineup, somebody has to come out of the lineup. And unfortunately, that name is Jeff Skinner in this game. Skinner played in his first ever NHL playoff game on Monday after 1,078 NHL regular season games. He also got a point in that game, plus 205, third leg of Bordzy's bankroll, which cash the Oilers lost, but your boys still won, and we're feeling good about bankroll tonight. But He's the odd man out. He's the one taking out a lineup. As much as it sucks, I do think it is the right decision. Simply because Jeff Skinner doesn't have the defensive acumen. He doesn't play on the penalty kill. The options are Brownie, Janmark, or Skinner. Janmark scored back-to-back playoff games. Can't take him out. Also plays center. Connor Brown does more and has been hot lately. Jeff Skinner, I'm sorry. You just have to be the one out. I love you in the chat. I do appreciate you. The Oilers allowed 6 goals on Monday, so I do think defense is going to be a point of emphasis in this hockey game. It sucks. I feel for the guy. Thoughts on Jeff Skinner being the odd man out?
The Oilers were outscored 3-1 with him on the ice at 5-on-5. Listen,
he was a large contributing factor into some goals a game.
He was. I mean, his playoff experience with the Edmonton Oilers is essentially just Abe Simpson walking into the place of business where Bart Simpson walked in, did a little turnaround.
Oh, what place of business was that, Zach?
Oh, we'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
Everybody knows the gift. Everybody knows the moment. So we'll leave it at that. But I do feel bad for the guy on a personal level, right?
Yeah, right. It's heartbreaking. At least he got his 1 point.
He got his point. Right. I think it's fine. I wrote about it this morning, like an hour or two before the news came out that it wasn't going to be Skinner. I thought it was going to be Henrique.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I mentioned this yesterday on ONE as well. I haven't really been impressed with his game, and the way that I looked at it too was, they're going to rotate the centers through so much on that fourth line, and they were doing that a lot in Game 1. Maybe they're doing that a little bit less now that they are going Supernova. I think if we saw, the spine of the 3 up the middle, maybe that would have been the case, but I think it's fine. Wouldn't surprise me to see Skinner get in again at some point here in the playoffs. I'd like to see him back in because I thought he was good down the stretch, and I think that's what's a little bit disappointing. He really stepped up offensively. In those last 14 games, he had something like 4 goals and 6 points in them. And those
he was becoming everything we were hoping for.
Exactly, and those were all games where one or both of McDavid and Draisaitl were not in the lineup. So I feel bad for the guy, but you know what? What can you do? My one question for Jeff Skinner in the chat: speaking of wearing jeans in the press box, are they apple bottom jeans? And do you have the boots with the fur?
Also, saw Ryan S. He's in a full Oilers night costume, and he had even the fur from Game of Thrones.
Love it.
I was just walking down the back alley with all the gear. All of a sudden, I saw him walk by, and I was like, I know exactly who that is. Shout out. Also, shout out to the Super Chats in the chat. Reminder, all of your Super Chat donations are in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. We raised well over $2,000 for the mega stream on Monday. That was fantastic. Mackay and Dry, he's in. Bordzy Bars Part 11. Zach, take a gander at Evander. He is back. Fuck the slander. Ignore refs who will pander, but the cup is coming to you. We'll hand her. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Force.
He's better and better.
Shout out ChatGPT.
Yeah, but no, see, he's being pissed because I did this before to him, and he was very upset with me that I would ever think.
I'm sorry.
It's only because the bars are so good. I'm happy he shares a mirror. Then Bob Stoffer 279. Mikey looks like the monster from the Goonies. That is not a compliment. Let's go now. Need to know information courtesy of Wilhauk Beef Jerky because you know it. Only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Wilhauk name made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated to glorious perfection. Get more information at WilhaukBeefJerky.com or exclusively out of their Leduc location. Quick game notes. Need to know. Obviously, we're going to keep playing the Kings every game, so there's not a whole ton of a lot. There's not a lot in here. Jesus Christ, boys. Word gymnastics here. Evander Kane, John Klingberg in. Jeff Skinner and Josh Brown out of the lineup. Pat, you already threw it up, right? The projected lineup for what we're going to look like. So we did see the deep pairings. Jake Wallman slotted to play with John Klingberg. We will see how that goes. Extras, Brown, Deneen. You see him down there. Extras in the forward group. Jeff Skinner, Derek Ryan, Max Jones, Kasperi Kapanen, and Stuart Skinner will get the start in this hockey game. If a team, it's just Coombsy's game notes today, so earmuffs if you don't want to hear this. Teams that go up 2-0 in the series win 87.7% of the time. It's not must-win territory. It's never a series until you lose at home. But that's a statistic I didn't really care much to read. Also, shout out today is St. George's Day. Shout out to Liam. That's a very good omen as well. He did say in 5 total games in St. George's Day history, the Oilers are 1-3-1. So let's make that 2-3-1 tonight for the Kings. Shout out to that guy. The LA Kings side of need to know. They allowed 5 goals on Monday, but they're not going to make any changes to their lineup. Their top 3 lines have been set 4 weeks, and the 4th line barely played in Game 1. It was like 3 minutes, 4 minutes between Hellenius, Jeff Lalonde, and I forget who the other one was. Top line, Kuzmenko, Kopitar, and Kempe. They went off. Kempe had a goal, 2 assists. Kuzmenko had a goal, 2 assists. Kopitar chipped in with an assist, but they were deep all over. Byfield had a goal. Fiala had a goal. Philip Deneau, who's kind of become an enemy number one right now. I don't really hate anyone more than Mikey Anderson or more than Drew Doughty. But goddamn, he's getting up there for me as well. Liam just despises Adrian Kempe for sure. One thing that was different, I'll say, in game one between past series, the Kings were the team successful on the power play. They went 2 for 5 in game one, while the Oilers went 0 for 2, which is a massive shift from previous years. Quote from Nobby here: I don't anticipate us dominating the special teams battle like we had previously, but it definitely is our goal to come ahead, because that will probably be the difference in this series. And then finally, Darcy Kemper, he's getting the start tonight. He had a 202 goals against average this season, but allowed 5 on 25 shots. Stu and him both, twin 800 save percentages. It's either the theory of the Oilers got him in the third period, or that's going to be one of the few games where you're going to be able to pump 5 past Darcy Kemper, and you didn't win that game. Also, now want to give some love quickly to Boston Pizza. You know, I get it. We're here at Greta. This is a party vibe. This is, you know, you got to come down here for games and the whole thing. But if you're not down for that vibe, you just want a nice, quieter vibe, I could say, with some delicious food, awesome screens everywhere. Check out Boston Pizza all over. I say, if you're a basic small town in Alberta, you have a tips and you have a Boston Pizza. I love the Boston Brew. Love some Cactus Cut chips. Shout out to BP's favorite item.
Oh, the Boston Brew.
Hey, right?
I love it.
It's a classic. It's been a part of my life forever. The meat sauce, of course. Shout out to meat sauce. Now, Sherwood Ford, giant storyline, keeping the bills getting paid here. Shout out to Sherwood Ford and their Nation Valet service. Bag Milk just showed up here. You would have thought he just got Nation Valet to the bar. He's looking incredibly good as well. Rocking a huge jersey. Shout out to Giant Mike, the entire crew over there at Sherwood Ford Valet. You know the drill. They'll pick it up. Your vehicle doesn't even have to be a Ford. From your home, from your office, they'll take it in the shop, do all the services, drive it back to you. You don't have to do shit. My storyline tonight, kind of mentioned off the top, the goal is simple. It has always, will always be, just take back home ice advantage. Steal one in game 1 or 2. You win this game tonight, and you come back to Rogers Place, split 1-1 Friday night in Edmonton, you might as well just give me game 3 right there, because, come on, the vibes are going to be electric. You know what's going to be rocking in there, but I mentioned the stat there, 87.7%. Don't want to go down 2-0. My key to victory, also simple. It's Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. If you're going to go Supernova, I think Nobby is fully saying here, we're willing to play these guys 25-plus minutes tonight. If it comes to that, empty the tank. This is also a reason why McDavid and Draisaitl rested at the end of the season to be as close to 100% full health as they can get. Unload the clip, baby. You need to win 4 games. You only got 7 games to do it. My storyline, steal home ice, key to victory, Connor and Leon. You got either one?
Just win, baby.
Shout out the Davis family.
Just win, baby. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing for me here. They got to find a way to get a W here tonight. I think that's what's really critical. You know, there's lots of series left either way, but I really do think that coming back with the split to home ice to Edmonton for game 3, the first home playoff game of the year, this place will be electric. The city will be electric. Rogers, everybody knows that.
It's going to be a good time, but hey, job's not finished. We got to get one on the road tonight at Crypto.com Arena, where obviously the LA Kings have been pretty good so far this season. Pat, let's just officially go through the daily face-off lineup here one final time to let the people know our top line projected to be a Leon Draisaitl with Connor McDavid and Corey Perry on that top wing. Then your second line, Evander Kane. He is confirmed ready to go with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. That's an unreal second line there as well. It's just worried, what's Evander Kane going to fully look like? Third line, also love it. Frederick with Rico and Connor Brown. 3 veterans that all can play defensively responsibly. Also have some good offensive talent there. Fourth line, Vasily Podkolzin with Janmark and Harvey. I just see Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl taking that spot, especially because those are Leon's line mates that he had for basically the majority of the season, and we know what they're able to do in a pinch here and there. Your deep pairings, Darnell Nurse with Evan Bouchard, Jake Woolman with John Klingberg, and Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson. I am so jacked up to see Evander Kane play tonight. I want to temper my expectations, but there's a great article on our site, courtesy of our boy Sean Pang, and even Pangsy Brett. We haven't seen him since Vegas, since like 4 a.m. on the casino floor. Hope he's doing good.
Yeah, the night we left. So
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Well, he wrote a great article.
Hey,
Only
so
on signs of life.
So
So
we
that's
do have
signs of life.
Signs of life.
SOL,
We
baby.
have that. Has anybody actually seen him though? I don't know, but I'm jacked up to see Evander Kane play because he has had a lot of unreal playoff moments in an Edmonton Oilers jersey in a short amount of time overall, right? He's had a ton of big moments. Some of them hat-trick against LA, Game 3 of 2022. He had a natural hat-trick that same playoff year against the Calgary Flames in 2022. He had a Gordie Howe hat-trick last season against the LA Kings. Remember, he blew the kisses to the Vegas crowd after he fought Keegan Colasar. He obviously had the "we're going to 7" against the LA Kings. I would kill for a big moment like that tonight. You mentioned it. You expect him to be a pest. I expect him to be smiling. He did mention today that, like, maybe nerves could get a factor in some degree, but he said it wouldn't affect his play in any way, shape, or form. This guy's a pro. He's a playoff performer, playoff pedigree. Everyone going to talk to Dubnyk about it in just a couple minutes as well. Can we get a sick Evander Kane moment tonight? Because also, let's check for his anytime goal. I also tried to see if he could get hat-trick odds for Evander Kane. Not available. It's just Leon, Connor, and Hyman. Evander Kane to score a goal is currently plus 375. Would you smash that?
responsibly.
Responsibly, so.
Would responsibly smash.
I already did.
There's my boy. I'm going to need your spider in just a couple minutes if you made a spider. Or just let me know whatever you're
I'll make one
about.
right now.
That's my boy. That's why I love him.
Creepy
Other final thing, Matthias Janmark, playoff goals in back-to-back games. Also tying the bet 365. He doesn't do it again, does he? Plus 900 tonight for the Janmark to score a goal. I obviously don't think so. Shout out him. Just want to give some love. This bar, it was hilarious. Lance Kane was letting Tyler Yaremchuk fucking have it when Matthias Janmark scored that goal with a stick against the goaltender. You got to appreciate the little things here. Shout out to Janmark. And he'll be in on that fourth line. Let's go now. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. It's spring, about to be summer. Take in your boats, take in your quads, take in whatever outdoor toys you got. Get them. It's fully serviced, ready for May long weekend. That's when summer begins in Alberta. Hopefully the mosquitoes aren't bad by then yet. And go get them checked out. Also, could be a waiting line, so don't wait to do it. There's going to be a lot of people before May long weekend that want to get that done. So go out there and check them out. Pat, pull it up for me, the tail of the tape. Kemper versus Stuart Skinner. That's just ugly numbers from both guys right there. Each with twin 800 save percentages. Stuart Skinner, 626 goals against. Whatever, don't even care anymore. There were question marks coming into this one. Would it be Stu? Would it be Pickard? I thought that was ridiculous from day one. Maybe that's because I get to talk to Devon Dubnyk immediately following the game, which we both get to do this evening. He did not think Stuart Skinner was the reason the Edmonton Oilers lost. Sure, would he like more saves? Yes. But he thought, and for me personally, way too early in the series to be pulling out your starter. Confidence level, 1 out of 10 with a decimal for Stuart Skinner. Dave Portnoy scale.
6.9. Nice. I'm kind of in the middle of the ground here when it comes to Stuart Skinner right now. He needs to have a big game tonight. I don't think there's any other way to cut it. He needs to have a big game tonight. He needs to win this game for the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, and all the forwards. Yeah, they're really important to win hockey games. I think it's going to be critical that Stuart Skinner has a big performance for the team tonight. So that's going to be one real thing to kind of look here. Because if he doesn't, it's going to open up a really ugly conversation for Friday night. So going to be fascinating to kind of watch and see what happens here. But yeah, hoping for a big one tonight from Skin Daddy.
I'm always praying. Here we go. Darcy Kemper on the other side, as we mentioned. Barely tested for 2 periods, it felt like. And then the third period, the Oilers go Supernova. They get results. They score 4 goals. Also, Greta has some treats every time the Oilers score a goal. Not allowed to say specifically what it is. You could imagine what it is every time they score. Buckle up, buckaroo, if we get the same thing that we got in the third period on the last one. Let me tell you. But Kemper, Devon Dubnyk, if we have time, we'll ask about this, but he mentioned on ONE today. He's a former teammate of Kemper, and he said he's a guy that, I'm paraphrasing, can be easily rattled, a guy that you can get in his kitchen. He can become emotional. The Oilers maybe tapped into some of that in the final third period there because he did blow that lead. He allowed 5 goals on 25 shots for a twin 800 save percentage. I'm expecting him to get in his kitchen. Let's go now to our away lineup brought to you by the very building we're in right now, Greta Bar, my favorite spot in the entire city. We're going to be here all playoffs long. I will be here all playoffs long. Away games, home games, We're pre-gaming. We're doing Oilers Nation After Dark right here from the bar every step of the way. Devon Dubnyk going to join for pre and post as well. And I keep telling him it's an open invite if he wants to come down here to Greta. Zach, you weren't here for game one. You're in for a treat for game two. This place is already filling up. Patrick, if you'd be so kind, pull up the projected LA Kings lineup this evening. Top line, they were good in the last game. Kuzmenko, Kopitar, Kempe. Second line, Fiala, Byfield, Lafayette. Warren Fogo, an old friend with Philip Deneau and Trevor Moore. Jeff Millant with Sam Hellenius and Alex Turcotte. Deep pairings, Mikey Anderson with Drew Doughty. Vladislav Gavrikov with Jordan Spence. Pat, did the camera just go up for a second?
Yeah, I did. Give me 1 second.
You can just listen to the sweet, sweet sounds of my voice. Also, shout out Elgato for all their great work. Vladislav Gavrikov on the second pairing with Jordan Spence. Joel Edmondson on the third pairing with one Brant Clark. Light is still blue on there. So the Kings barely played their fourth line in game one, dude. They had what? Turcotte 413, Hellenius 346, Jeff Millant 345. Because the Kings have depth all over their lineup. Pat, if you could pull that up just one more time, give me a player to watch in this one. Unfortunately, in game one, I said Andrei Kuzmenko scored not even 3 minutes in the hockey.
I'm not going to give a player to watch for this game.
Yeah, good call.
Because
I was
every
testing
time
you. Good
every
call.
time I give a player to
You
watch,
do.
on
Yeah,
free
you're
game,
very good.
they pop off. So for me, the player to watch is going to be Will Ferrell. Let's see what he's up to tonight in the stands. Does he have his face painted? Does he have a sign? Does he look grumpy? Does he look happy? I think that's going to be the big question for me here going into tonight.
Yeah. The other thing we mentioned, their decor, they kind of the same thing, have their guys spread out on the depth chart. But as we saw, Doughty led 26-09, Mikey 25-44, Edmondson 20-56. Brett's just shaking his head back there. He's full of hate.
I can't.
Tell me how much hate you have for Mikey Anderson. I got time for that.
Oh, brother. First of all, you're an adult named Mikey, so first, grow the fuck up. Thank you for not having an advertiser on there. Second of all, like, everybody always tries to talk, and especially in Los Angeles, how the Edmonton Oilers can try and be this dirty team trying to hurt people. And looking at you, Philip Deneau, and also looking at you, Corey Perry, saying, what the fuck?
I hate it strong with this one.
Like, Mikey Anderson, in literally the first series these two played, slew-footed the second best player in the world, and he sits there and tries to play victim. Not only is your name Mikey, but you can't take blame, brother. Grow the fuck up. Like, I can't say, how does nobody else in that locker room sit there and go by Mike or Michael, dude? Like, I'm sick of calling you Mikey. Even your parents got to be sick of calling you Mikey.
I think I'm starting to hate Philip Deneau more than anyone. I think that's my player to hate. Not a player to watch. Who's your player to hate tonight?
All of them.
This guy's media trained. This guy knows. This guy knows what to do. Let's go now. Before we get joined by our friend Devon Dubnyk, should be 10 minutes or so. But, I got a lot to talk about because I feel good about this tonight. Let's do Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365, because you know it. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Breaking news coming in from them where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Where else would you rather be placing your money? If you want to get in for the Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365, they've got you from game props, player props, totals, money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app to get in on the game, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older. Zachary, I feel very good about these ones tonight. I feel very good, which I don't know if that's a good sign or not. The first option, Connor McDavid, 2+ points, currently plus 125. Do they not know that he's playing with Leon Draisaitl on the top line? I don't know if anyone told him. The second one, Darnell Nurse, 2+ shots, currently minus 140. I believe he's hit this dating back to the regular season as well, but he's hit that in 4 straight hockey games. He also had 3 shots on goal in game one. And then it's Leon Draisaitl to get 2+ points, currently at plus 140. He had a goal and assist in game one, so obviously catch that bet. He has 18 goals and 14 assists in 19 career playoff games versus the LA Kings. Could have even done Leon anytime because out of 19 games, he scored in 18 of them. That's absurd. But I'm just going with the 2+ points, expecting Supernova Nuclear, them to be leaning on the Edmonton Oilers superstars. Zachary, that together, parlayed is plus 475. Do so responsibly. Do so if you're only willing. Bet only what you're willing to lose. That's the line I always say. Which of those 3 bets do you like the most?
Yes.
I knew.
I love them all.
Battle tested this guy.
I think I like the first one the best. It's just Connor's so absurd, looked so absurdly good in game one there. So I think for me, I got to lean that way. I think the Nurse one, like, it's 2 shots. That's not hard. But you're also on a pairing with Evan Bouchard, who we all know absolutely loves to shoot the pill out there. So I think that's kind of one thing to watch here with this one. But Bordzy, I like all 3 of them. I think they're all some pretty solid plays here.
Okay, now I want to give you an honorable mention as well because I showed you this parlay. It's not officially Bordzy's bankroll. As I said, there's a lot that I like tonight. Specifically, this parlay, you could do them separately. As honorable mentions, a Corey Perry point is plus 155. He's on the win with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Like we mentioned, going to be getting ozone draws as well. My boy just locked it in 2 for McDavid, 2 for Leon, and 1 for Corey Perry. The other one that I love, Nurse blocks over 2.5. He had 6 blocks in game 1. Over 2.5 is plus 145. You put those together, juiced up. I then threw in Leon Draisaitl 2 shots, minus 600. I just wanted to juice it up a little bit. It took it up an extra 125. That parlay together was 625. Perry point, Nurse blocks, dry 2 shots. 625 for something that seems very, very reasonable.
I love it. I love it.
I'm seeing the board well tonight.
You are. You're seeing it. You've got the vision. You've got the clarity. I was actually, as everybody saw, I was just showing Bordzy something on my phone because I was very responsible and threw a little bit of money down on the Bet365 streets tonight. Let me hit you with this same game parlay, Bordzy. And you actually kind of put me onto this one. 2 points for Connor McDavid, 2 points for Leon Draisaitl, and 1 point for the Word. Parlay that together plus 525. I like it.
525 for the top line to do top line picks.
They have to just go out there and do their thing, right? I like it a lot.
Seeing some hate in here for the gambling. I'm sorry if you don't like gambling. Pays the bills, brother. Shut up, Bet365. We appreciate them very, very much. Brett, as your first spider, do so responsibly, only betting what you're willing to lose. What do you got for me, Bert?
Yeah, this one's juicy, so excuse me. But McDavid, 2+ points. Leon, 2+ points. Kind of chasing you before I even saw the bankroll, so I'll take that. I also have Leon scoring the first goal tonight. I am feeling Edmonton scoring that first goal, feeling that they're going to come out of the gate, and I think Leon's going to lead the charge. Second, I have, of course, Evander to score a goal tonight as well. And I'm getting into the block shots because, of course, I am a block shot god, even though I lost the tattoo bet. Darnell with over 2.5, and Jake Wallman as well. Of course, that boy bodies pucks. And then the last one, actually, no, I have 2 more. Stuart Skinner, over 23.5 saves.
Yeah, I saw that. I like that as well.
See, the thing is, well, yes, that, and also the fact that LA can pepper shots as well, so I'm feeling that too. But I also have both teams score at least 3 goals as well, and that's juicy, brother. And then I also followed up on your Bordzy's bankroll as well. I have a couple of bets going for tonight.
We ride tonight. We ride with the Edmonton Oilers. I want to quickly give some love to Oodle Noodle. I'm actually wearing their shirt right now for their 20th birthday. Shout out. Come on. You don't want to cook. It's a playoff game. You should be ordering in. I know you're a noodle man yourself as well, Zachary. Favorite menu item right now?
Oh, man. Bunchago.
I knew you were going to say Bunchago.
Such a
you
good
never
one.
change.
I love the premium box. You get a mix of everything. You get the noodles. You get a little bit of veg. You get your protein. Tofu guy. I like the tofu. And you get a couple of spring rolls in there. Perfect.
It's like the best bang for your buck. It
really
is an incredible meal. Check them out there on every delivery app. But also, if you download their app today and you sign up, you can get 1,500 customer loyalty rewards points, which in English is $15 in value. That's a Tokyo Glaze. That's a Bunchago Koi. Right there, bing, bang, boom. Also, before we get joined by our new friend, Devon Dubnyk, I do want to go and give some love to Tourism Jasper because Doobie is presented by Tourism Jasper. Shout out to them. This summer, find your happy place in Jasper, from hiking trails, paddling wild waters, or sharing laughs by the fire. Happiness finds you here. Jasper is open, vibrant, and ready to welcome you back for more unforgettable moments. So drive over, play outside, soak up the fresh air, enjoy some food and drink, and maybe even stay up late because your best summer memories aren't behind you. They're waiting for you this summer in Jasper. Plan your trip at jasper.travel/summer as we bring on our new friend, Devon Dubnyk, who's had a big day at Oilers Nation today. He was on Oilers Nation every day, the premiere of Ask Doobie, which the chat today on Pregaming has already been loving every bit of it. They said the words were very insightful. I saw a lot, Doobie. If you want to feel gassed up, you should go read the comments because it's all W Doobie. But obviously, very happy to have you on. Doobie, before we talk about anything, I dug this up and I wanted to pull this out because I think this is quite hilarious. And I'm curious if you would. I mean, I know you don't remember this. I told you before, I'm a lifelong Edmontonian. Been here my whole life. Was a huge fan growing up. I have a photo with you outside the Cactus Club bathrooms. Pat, if you'd like to pull this up, there's you, me and my buddies. I am right next to you in the Patriots hat, having a great moment together there.
That's awesome.
Never want to ask a guy like for a photo in the bathroom, but Doobie, we were taking a piss together, like next to each other, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is Devon Dubnyk right now!" Like, and I just grabbed all my buddies and I was like, "We need to wait outside," and respectfully asked Devon Dubnyk for a picture. You were a huge beauty about it, and it was right after you and the Wild beat the Edmonton Oilers. So
that's awesome. Hey, my pleasure. That's great. That's a great picture. I look so young there. Well, so do you.
I know. I was going to say I had to put the red circle on me there because I wasn't sure if people would understand if that was still me. Doobie, the tables in Game 1, they completely changed in Game 3. The tables turned, rather, I should say, and that was largely due, or entirely due, to 97 and 29. The Oilers going supernova. You and I discussed it on the post-game show. It was kind of the only real consistent source of offense in Game 1. Tonight, they're going to load up the top line, start the game at least with Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Corey Perry on the wing, which I absolutely love that. I think everyone with two eyes and a brain knows that this series for the Oilers goes as far as 97 and 29 can take them. But tonight, they're going to be tasked with a big workload. I'm curious your thoughts. Is this too early to be going supernova in this series? Either way, they're going to go with it tonight. Thoughts on going nuclear in Game 2?
No, I think it's perfect. I mean, we talked about that last game, and I love it. It makes us look smart too when we talk about something, and then the guy in charge makes the change. So I love it. And reason being, I understand. You know, there's pros and cons to both, and I understand spreading out the lineup a little bit, getting Connor and Leon spread out. You get potentially more offense on different lines. However, in this series, in that game anyway, it was pretty obvious that the LA was able to shut that down. They just didn't have enough. They weren't creating enough. They weren't getting the shots through. They were getting close. And then you saw the way the game went when they got put together. That third period was unbelievable. And those guys are borderline unstoppable. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like the Oilers power play. They're borderline unstoppable. And so I understand that if you can stop them, then you kind of swallowing up the offense by having them all together. But, you know, there's not like there's slouches on the second line either. I'm kind of maybe a little bit old school, but I love the idea of every line having an identity. Like, you know, you're getting scoring from your top line. You know you can get scoring from your second line, and you're going to get a little bit of sandpaper with it as well. And then you have your third and fourth line. Those are your identity lines. Those guys know what they have to do. They go out on the ice, they hit, they agitate, they make damn sure they don't get scored on, control the puck. That's their job. That's their identity. Leave the scoring to the big boys. If they're able to chip in, great. But these guys are so good. You know you're getting potent offense from them every game. So load them up. Last game, it seemed to work great. Maybe down the road, maybe if they get through the series, next series they can go back. It depends on their opponent, the way it's going. But watching that first game, this is a no-brainer.
And you know, Devin, for the first time really all season, we're kind of getting a look at like a full Edmonton Oilers lineup here. You know, you got Trent Frederick in the mix down there on the third line. Evander Kane returns here on the second line. And you mentioned that second line with that bit of sandpaper. What are your expectations for Evander Kane coming into this game? Because it's been a long time since he's played. I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of rust on him. What do you want to see from Evander Kane?
Well, listen, I've played with Evander, so it does pain me a little bit to speak positively about Evander. However, this is a playoff hockey player. Let's be honest. He is an incredibly good hockey player. He's incredibly skilled. He can score, but he is a playoff hockey player because he can agitate. He is tough. He can hit. He can literally bring everything you need in playoff hockey. And that is why he is a massive addition to the lineup, because I felt like the Oilers were lacking a little bit of that playoff, you know, FU feel to the other team. Like there wasn't the scrums weren't quite there. I thought they could get in Kemper's kitchen a little bit better just that I hate you right from the get-go of a playoff series. Well, guess who brings that better than anybody? Easy guy to hate. Just ask anybody. But it's a good thing for the Oilers because he can do that. He can go and run you through the boards and put the puck in the back of the net. So that's going to be a massive addition for Edmonton. Now they have Supernova. That's that's a great second line too.
For me, it never ceases to amaze me that I'm cheering for both Evander Kane and Corey Perry at the exact same time.
thought, eh?
And I love both of those dudes when they're out there, especially in the NHL playoffs. Evander Kane's the definition of a playoff player because he can score goals. He's had so many big moments against the LA Kings. I said to you, 12 goals in 18 career playoff games against the Kings. Pat, you showed that graphic there. We don't need it again, but the man does deliver in the NHL playoffs. Doobie, our other key for game one was seeing some playoff Evan Bouchard, and we got the full spectrum of Evan Bouchard in game one. Horrible mistakes in his own end, some back-breaking plays. Then at the end of the game, you check the box score, and you go, holy shit, he had 3 apples in that one as well and was a major part of the comeback. It's the good with the bad. Obviously, you live by the sword, die by the sword. I think the Oilers clearly allowed 6 goals against in game one. They're going to need to tighten things up. There will also be another new addition to the D-corps in one veteran, John Klingberg. Josh Brown he played 4 minutes and 54 seconds in game one. He was brutal on the first PK, allowing Kuzmenko alone in front of the net. But then on that 5-on-3, he was eating pucks left, right, and center. What more can you ask from a guy in Josh Brown? I'd expect Klingberg to maybe get some more minutes. We said we think it's because Nabi doesn't really want to just roll with 5 defensemen again in a hockey game, wanting to spread the wealth. But overall, the Edmonton Oilers D-corps tonight going to have a different look, but we need to see more from them, correct?
I agree. And we'll start with Bouchard. Again, we talked about needing playoff Bouch. But here's the thing. This is what's good for Oilers fans is that if you look at that, right, he's got his 3 assists. So he's doing – those are the things that we love about him that we know he can do. And those are hard things to do. I mean, he's getting the points, having the skill, the vision, all of these things. Those are hard things to do. And you know what's not hard to do? Feed Connor McDavid a grenade into his feet that lands right on Danault's tape. It's not hard to not do that. That's an easy fix. So keep getting 3 assists, stop passing the puck to the other team in our end, and we're good. And so that to me it's just those kind of bonehead decisions in his end should be easy to clean up because it's just be more simple. And then we get the plus of Evan Bouchard. But like we said, we need him. We need him regardless. He's going to be on the ice regardless of mistakes or not. So if he can clean those up. Now, Klingberg, I like Klingberg coming in. It's for him, it's the same kind of thing. The potential offense is there. He needs to go out and make sure that he's not a liability defensively and then have the offense be an addition. Don't force the offense. We got Bouchard for that. We got McDavid and Draisaitl. Let them do their thing. Don't force offense. Go out there and don't be a liability defensively because if he does get opportunities in the offensive zone, he is a special player that way. He has a unique vision. He's got a crazy wrist shot from the point. He was in Dallas always really, really good at getting it through. Just finding this, he'd hold on to it for an extra second, push it out. He just always found a way to get his wrist shot through to the net. So he has some special abilities that way. Just make sure it's not a 1-for-1 trade-off. Play defense first and then have that as a bonus.
Some of those subtle plays that you just get from a veteran defenseman, 63 career games before. Bouchard, just make life easy for one Stuart Skinner. He was in tough in that last one. Doobie, I said to you, we were texting. I'm already nauseated and already done with the goaltending talk here in Edmonton. And you know it better than anyone, brother. It never is going to end. I don't want to talk about Stu's performance, and I said to you earlier, I was like, it's a rumor, but I guess it might be confirmed. It was discussed that Stuart Skinner gained 20 or 25 pounds?
Yeah,
from
if you look at
his
listed weight last year was 206. It's up to 230 now. So, at least from the listing, he's put on some weight. How accurate do you think those things really are, Devin? Is it really such a case, do you think?
Listen, I'll just tell you this, all right? I was floating around the 215 mark for way longer than I was 215 pounds. So I liked it. I let it slide. I thought the 215 was a nice athletic weight. I played for a long time in the 230s for a good probably 3 or 4 years when when I was still listed at 215. So my guess is he's been that weight for a while. And being a young kid too. Listen, I honestly didn't fill out until I was like 30. As far as like my playing weight that I played at. So my guess is that was a delayed addition, and then he didn't pack on 25 pounds in one off season.
I made the joke. I said, well, he just became a dad. He put on some dad bod weight. And then I was going to ask you, did you ever gain 20 pounds when you became a father? But,
I gained a lot more than 20 pounds when I stopped skating. It happens quick. I had to get a little healthy again here.
Yeah, what's my excuse? Shit, brother, I don't got anything. Doobie, final one I got for you. A score prediction. What do you think this game's going to finish like tonight? And then give me an anytime goal scorer as well. Who do you think? It could be from either team. Remember who your audience is as well. But score prediction, anytime goal scorer.
All right, I'm gonna go 4-2 Oilers. I'm gonna drop one. I think they're gonna learn from last time, be a little more structured. I mean, in front of Skinner, I think that's the biggest thing, is just allowing him to trust what's going on in front of him is going to allow him to be confident in play. So I think they're going to take that third period. He's going to take the confidence. Only give up 2 tonight. Anytime goal scorer. Oh, this pains me to do, but I'm going to say Evander Kane.
Ooh, that's spicy. I like it.
Big time players make big time plays. Shout out Devon Dubnyk once again. He will join us on Oilers Nation After Dark. We'll revisit some of those keys, the big moments in the game. And if you want more from Doobie, check our YouTube channel, because the first episode of Ask Doobie is live. It dropped earlier today. Once again, Doobs, check the comments. You're getting gassed up so hard. It's incredible. I wish the chat was this nice to me. They're very nice to me, but they're not treating me like the royalty that we have here today. Doobie, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Oil up,
guys. See you after the game. Appreciate you.
Bang. It's going to be a late one again for Doobie. When he joined us for the last show, it was what? I think 12:30 his time. By the time he finished, it was past 1 a.m.
Make a cup
Shout
of
out
coffee.
him. That's my guy. Once again, fully standing offer if he wants to come down to Greta and hang out with the boys. Final question to you. Same one I gave him. I want it for Brett and Pat. Score predictions, anytime goal scorer. Boom, boom, boom.
I think it's a big one for the Oilers today, and I got a feeling that they really bounce back. I talked about this the other day, Bordzy. You know, the Oilers have really struggled in game ones in the playoffs. They're now 3-11 in game ones. In their 10 previous game one losses, or after their 10 previous game one losses, they're 7-3 in game 2. So I think the Oilers come out on top tonight. I'm feeling a little bold right now. 5-1 Oil. And the Worm. Corey Perry's going to get one tonight. He's going to cash out.
He's going to get that 1+ point, plus 155. Patrick Puff, you're done almost now. The third leg of your fourth leg of shows today.
Yeah.
But I know you're still on Bet365. If you were to do an anytime goal scorer, but give me your score prediction and a goal scorer.
I think I'm going to go a little less than Doobie. I'll go 3-1 for Edmonton, and I'm going to cop out and go Connor McDavid just because he was so electric the other day on Monday, and just playing with Leon, it's almost inevitable, so I like that.
Free money pick right there.
That's
Pretty square.
Oh, you mean best player on planet Earth? Oh.
Hot take, I know.
Bert?
For my Spiders specifically, I think both teams will score 3 goals. 5-3 Oil, and I have, Draisaitl, Evander Kane, and Corey Perry will all score tonight.
Let's go, brother. Let's go. Come on. Oh, yeah, we didn't bark on Monday. That's why. Got me feeling nicey. I'm going to go 4-2 for the Edmonton Oilers with a Leon Draisaitl goal. Scored 18 of 19 games. Bert, what you got for me?
LA's going 11-7 tonight. Turcotte.
Movar on D. Alex Turcotte out. Alex Turcotte played 4 minutes in game 1. So, hey, there you go. Late breaking news from Elliot Friedman. LA going 11-7.
Just another defenseman to play 4 minutes for him.
There we go. All right, reminder. Also, please throw down your courtesy like. Big shout out to all of our sponsors. Show's making money in the playoffs, baby. We doing good things over here pre-gaming. Once again, shout out to Greta Bar-Yeg. We got an awesome event going tonight. We are giving away a game experience to game 4. I got to logistically work around my words there. Imagine what that could be. Come on down. It's an awesome time. Use Bordzy to get in the line. If the Oilers win tonight, you're going to be joined by Devon Dubnyk. And it's a possibility when the Oilers win, let me correct, that a very special guest that you all know inside of Rogers Place might come down to Greta and come join us. Shout out to him. Shout out to all of you in the chat. Zach, Pat, Brett, I love you all. I got a party to host. We got fun times to have. We just pre-gamed. It's time to actually game. I love you all. We'll talk right after the game, Oilers Nation After Dark, with our pal Devon Dubnyk. Over and out. Good luck on Bet365. Peace. Peace.